the floor here. Yes.
What was it like working with Mr. Postlethwaite? It strikes me as a classy guy.
Pete Postlethwaite, yes. Steven Spielberg said one of the greatest actors in the world, and I'm probably not far from the truth. Pete plays it, it's very deprecating about that comment, but you bring Pete onto a set, and James really is the man to ask about that because he plays opposite him, but for me, you know that you're going to get quality. You know you're going to get a man who's absolutely focused and grounded, and he brings the A game every time. And as a director, that's what you want. You want Pete Postlethwaite and Max von Sydow to walk onto your set. And certainly with Max von Sydow, it's one of those moments where you go, I'm a bit of a gibbering wreck really, because a legend has just stepped on. And he phoned me up after we cast him, with a conversation, talk about the character, as you obviously do. And he rings up one day and says, hello, this is Max von Sydow. What is that? Hello, sir. And that's how it was. Like, I have to remember I was a director and had some useful comments. But with Pete, who's a charming gentleman as well, you know, and one of the great things about Pete, he acted like the patriarch of the family. You know, we had Rachel Hurd as Krieg, and he felt like the father figure. And I don't know if James can speak to that as well, but he just was wonderful for me.
Yeah, no, I mean, Pete is just, the thing about Pete is his heart literally is made of gold. You know, so when you work with him, I mean, as a man it is, he has incredible empathy for his fellow human beings. So he, as working with him in that scenario where he's meant to be a man who is just good all the way through, a good guy, who just, you know, sings at you in every scene. It's just lovely to work with him. He's just generous and kind and thoughtful and constantly aware of his fellow actors in the scenes, you know.
I wish I hadn't killed him so I could bring him out for the sequel there. Maybe in a flashback. Who else do we have here? Yes?
Speaking of sequels, I read you're looking to do like a trilogy. Where's Solomon Kane going next?
Well, the idea was, I mean, this is an origins tale for Solomon Kane that is not something that Robert Howard himself did. His Kane character appears pretty much fully formed in the short stories, and I had to kind of extrapolate backwards some of the ideas which would get Kane to be the person that we want him to be for the sequels, because Howard's stories take him to Africa and really great exotic locations like that. So my thinking is that that's really where he'd follow evil next, and he'd fight kind of Leloup and get his staff, his Juju staff, and I want to explore, I don't know how many real Solomon Kane fans are here, but I want Kane to get the Juju staff next. I want him to find out about the power of that bit of wood. So that's where I want to take him next.
He's already spoken to me. He wants one of those rope bridges, and he wants lions coming down either side of it at me on fire. Have a good Sammy and Paul, our producers, won't give us the money for the CGI. We're going to do it for real.
And the lions won't stop and go. Yes, on this side here.
James, you look really great in a toga, and now you look really great in leather.
That's true.
What type of wardrobe would you want to wear?
Well, the next one?
Yeah,
Next
or for us.
I just want to do that one again. Really, that's the one I want to do again. The next job I'm doing is a Templar Knight. So, very badass medieval flick that we're going to do over in England next month, which is chainmail and big off sword. Yeah.
In the very back here, sir.
What are the release plans for the movie? Because I'd like to show all my friends.
I'd like you to see it too. Over here, we're still sort of dealing with how we're going to get it out to North America. In Europe, we've got pretty much tied up. The rest of the world's pretty much tied up. So get in touch with your local distributor and say, I want to see Solomon Kane. And I want to see it on a big screen loud, because that's the way to do it. Yes.
You wrote and directed it, but you mentioned at the beginning that someone else actually brought you the idea.
Yeah, that's true. Well, there's a gentleman, the other producer of the movie, is a man called Paul Barrow, and his interest in Kane predates mine, and he bought the rights to the character, and had been developing a way of making the movie for a long time. It was a long, hard slog. 10 years, Paul, was it? 10 years, just at the coalface trying to find a way to make this movie. Had some drafts of scripts, and they knew they wanted to have this origin story in order to make Kane an accessible character for a wider audience. Because that's the important thing, is the more people we bring to the cult of Kane, the better. And if I have to drift off Robert's canon a little bit and get, take a few liberties, just to get them to buy the books again and read, that's fine by me. So it was a sense they came to me and said, "You should be interested in doing this." And of course, that doesn't happen in the UK. We don't make these big fantasy movies out of the UK. So as a filmmaker, I made 2 movies, Death Watching Wilderness, and they're okay horror movies. I love fantasy, and that opportunity was like, you're putting this in front of me, of course I'm going to damn well do it, I'll do everything I can to do this. I think I wrote like half a damn script for nothing, just put it in front of him and say, something like this, how is this going to work? I said, yes, it's very good, maybe we'll get Christoph Gans to direct it. No, I'm going to direct it, this is, because I'm a fan of Brotherhood of the Wolf as well. In fact, we have the same director of photography, because I just love that incredibly crisp, classical look, which is what I want to do with Kane. So it was a process of proving that I was able to do it and making the absolute most of the budget they gave me.
And you've been, you were approached by Solomon Kane fans online. When I know
Approached to a store,
when I public in the program note, I mentioned that something along the lines like the film knows what it is, and the film kind of does have kind of a sense of humor. It's self-aware, but I think that they thought that maybe the film wasn't going to be faithful and would be kind of maybe too comic, and they approached you online.
Absolutely. I don't think you can not engage with people. I go online and I read forums for other movies that I'm a fan of, and I like to see, sneak peek trailers and stuff that shouldn't be there, because I'm a geeky fan like everybody else. But my own movie, of course you engage with people and you read what they say. It's not true that we just live in this kind of elevated world. Absolutely, read what you say online. But my intent was always to make a serious-minded movie. It does know what it is, and it has a little bit of humour, but Ken is a deadly serious character, and I wanted to make a deadly serious fantasy movie, because I kind of grew up with those cheesy ones in the 80s, and they're fun, but they're not serious, and that's what I wanted to do. So and I think that the Kane fans see him as a very serious character, and that's what I wanted to bring.
Thank you very much.
Thank you everybody so much for coming. Thank you.
Actually, if we can make it easy retreat out into the lobby, because I believe outside there are some Solomon Kane posters.
Oh, free stuff.
And if you like the film, remember to vote. And we'll see you back shortly for Symbol tomorrow night. Town Hall Panic on Friday. And On Back 2 on Saturday. We have lots of release screenings of the other films in the festival. Thank you.